welcome to my home. I'm in a different room today. I seem far away on the screen. I hope you can all see me okay. Yeah, welcome to our Thursday morning yoga taster session, usually on Zoom, but today on Facebook. How are we all doing? So today in our yoga practice, we'll be doing some poses from a Moon Salutation. If you can remember a couple of weeks ago, we practiced Sun Salutation. So these are usually done at the beginning of a yoga practice to awaken the body and create energy and heat. By contrast, a Moon Salutation is more restorative, it's more calming, more soothing, and it can be done as a complete practice in itself, which is what we'll kind of be doing today. A little bit in the middle that gets quite strong on the hips. So be careful with your body, and if you need to take modifications, please do. Okay, let's start. Enjoy the practice, everyone. We are going to start in everyone's favourite yoga position, Shavasana, corpse pose. So coming down onto your back. Just take your hips a little bit wider than take your heels a little bit wider than your hips. Let your feet relax into a nice comfortable position. And take your arms away from the side of the body. So you've got space here at the side, space around the armpits. Have the palms facing up. Close your eyes. And start to settle into your practice. Body sink down into the mat. And start to draw your focus within. So take your focus to your breath. If you can, you're taking nasal breathing. You're breathing in and out through your nose. And just observing your breath's natural rhythm. Two more lovely, big, deep breaths here. Really fill the lungs. And when you breathe out, empty them completely. Okay, so we're going to take a full body stretch, bring a bit of energy back into the body to start our warm-up. So next time you breathe in, point the toes, point the fingers overhead and become as long as you can possibly be. Really stretch it out. And I'm going to take it into our banana pose or laying crescent moon pose. So keeping the hips where they are, shifting feet, head and hands as far over to the left as you can. Let the shoulders relax into the mat. Maybe for a slightly deeper stretch, cross your right ankle on top of your left. And enjoy that lovely opening, that nice stretch right side of body. Okay, let's release. Stretch it out in the centre. That's this full body stretch. And let's take our banana pose over to the other side of our mat. This time left ankle crossed on top. Remember to relax the shoulders. And release. Lovely. Knees to chest pose, one from Yin Yoga. Let's bring both knees in towards our chest. And either just pop the hands gently on top of the knees, or if you want to, slightly stronger, you can catch hold of your elbows. Really hug those knees in tightly. So what you should be experiencing is a nice gentle stretch on your lower back and a bit of a massage to the abdominal area. Okay, let's take hold of the back of the knees, float the toes up towards a ceiling waterfall pose. Maybe a few ankle rotations here, maybe a bit of a rubbing of the hamstrings if they're a bit tight this morning. Now let's take it into the wide leg version of the pose. So take the feet wide, if you can, if you haven't got furniture in the way. Supporting the outer thighs, or for a slightly stronger stretch, you can apply gentle pressure to your inner thigh, see what feels good for you.
From here, let's bring it into our happy baby. So take hold of the back of the knees, draw the knees up and draw the knees down. Let's flex the feet, push the sacrum down into the mat and take the chin slightly towards the chest. So getting quite juicy around the hips. Okay, we're going to keep the left leg as it is, but straighten the right leg out to the side. Still keep that foot flexed if you can. Okay, let's bend that right leg, take left leg out to the side, nice and straight. So half happy baby, half wide leg waterfall pose. And stretching both legs out to the side, so back to this wide leg waterfall pose, but with flexed feet. If you can reach, take hold of the toes. Perfect, okay, bring the feet back together, back to your waterfall pose. And we're going to release the feet down to the floor, so bend the legs, we'll take them down straight. And come into an upside down lunge. So we're taking hold of the back of the knee, again drawing that knee up, drawing it down. Flexing the foot, taking that foot back, so your ankle stacked above your knee. You can hold on to the foot if you prefer here. Let's point the toes now, coming to toe to sky pose. Slightly stronger on the hamstrings, perhaps feeling it all the way down into the glutes. Nice, let's release that right leg. Same two moves left side. So upside down lunge first. Flexed foot here to begin with. Let's point the toes, toe to sky pose. And release that foot. Let's hug the knees into the chest. We're going to come up to an all fours position. Starting to get nice and warm now. We'll take a cow-cat stretch with breath, always a nice way to warm up. So let's just set the tabletop to begin with, our tabletop pose. Knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Locking the elbows out, so elbows facing towards the top of your mat if you can. Really spread the fingers, push fingertips and thumbs into the mat. Starting with our cow pose, let's take a breath in. Little dip in the lower back as you send your gaze and your chest forwards. And as you breathe out, push down into the mat to take your cat stretch. You're doming your back as much as you can. Let's take these 3 more times. Breathing in, cow pose, relax the tummy. Breathing out, cat stretch, draw the belly button up towards the spine. Into number 3. Breathing out, you're tilting your pelvis towards your navel, you're taking your chin towards your chest. Let's go again, one more cow, one more cat. Just pause in your cat pose here, your cat stretch. Checking these internal locks, you're pulling up on the pelvic floor, are you drawing your navel in towards the spine? We're keeping these internal locks applied as we come to a flat back, so return to your tabletop. We're going to flow from here into downward dog 4 times with our breath, so let's turn the toes. Let's take a breath in and push up, downward facing dog. And a breath out to slowly, with control, back down to your tabletop. Nice, let's take that again, breathing in. And breathing out. See if you can get deeper in your downward facing dog every time you come up. Number 3. Next time you come up into downward facing dog, we're going to pause it there and walk it out. So breathing in, coming up. A softening of the knees, push into the mat with your hands, get your chest closer to your thighs. Let's walk it out. One leg straightens, the other leg bends, so pedaling the heels up and so pedal the right one more time and then the left. And then take the knees down to the mat. Rest on the tops of the feet. Let's take the bottom back towards the heels and take an extended child's pose. Try and relax the shoulders. If you don't find it relaxing for your shoulders here, maybe hold on to your elbows and rest your head on your forearms instead. Just taking your focus back to your breath.
This is how you're feeling now we're starting to warm up. Let's see if I can see who's joined us.
Oh, Leslie. Hi, Leslie.
Hope you're okay.
Okay, so we're going to come back to downward facing dog. Let's set our tabletop position. Turn the toes, come up downward facing dog. Now we did this on, what day are we on? Thursday. We did this on Tuesday, plie dog. So turning the toes out 10 to 2, your heels a little tiny bit wider than your hips. We're bobbing the bottom up and down with our breath. So next time you breathe out, lift the heels, take the bottom down, gaze forwards, a nice long squat. And as you breathe in, come up. Relax the neck as you come up. I'm going to do that 3 more times. You can take this as deep or keep it a little bit higher, whatever you prefer. And number 3. Let's just do that one more time. I think this is lovely for the hips and shoulders. Let's come back up into our downward facing dog. So just the feet again. So feet back underneath the hips, toes pointing towards the top of the mat. 3-legged dog this time. So next time you breathe in, sweep the right leg up. Come up onto the ball of the left foot so you can get the right leg even higher. Let's push the chest closer to the thigh and then sink that left heel down. Take a bend in the right leg, a little bit more work for the hip, and take some lovely big knee circles. So externally rotating that hip. And one more. Lovely. Let's release. Walk that out in the middle. We're going to take that opposite side. So next time you breathe in, sweep up with the left leg. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Push your chest closer to that thigh. And sink the right heel down. Really stretch it out. And then let's take a bend in that left leg. So dropping foot towards your bottom. And drawing big circles with that knee. Couple more. Ooh, make it crack then. Lovely. And release. And walk that out in the centre. And coming now into our dangling pose. So walking the feet towards the hands. You can walk your hands back towards your feet if you like. Take hold of the elbows. Soft knees, soft neck. And just let the weight of your head carry you forwards. And feel the weight of your head lengthening through your spine. Okay. Take your chin towards your chest there. Next, in breath, really slowly rolling up. Come into an upright position.
And releasing.
Are we okay? Are we nice and warm now? So we're ready to move on to the poses from Moon Salutation. So sometimes you can do this sort of flowing with your breath. I'm not particularly going to do that today. We're going to hold each pose. Starting just with a mountain pose. So if you take your feet hip distance, if you turn landscape on your mats now please and come into the middle of your mat, tends to work better this way with Moon Salutations. So feet hip distance, really spread the toes, push your toes down into the mat. And as you push your feet down, draw the energy upwards, so really sucking your thigh muscles back to your thigh bones as you pull up on the kneecaps. Pull up pelvic floor, draw the belly button towards the spine. Let's just work the arms with breath. So take a breath in, reach up with the arms. And as
as you breathe out, release your arms along your sides. So relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to work with breath one more time and hold in our upward facing mountain. So let's take a breath in, reach up. Hands shoulder distance or palms touching, whatever suits. Really push down with your feet to reach up with your hands. Maybe take a little bit of a back bend, so maybe pull back a little bit with the hands as you gaze upwards. Pause here for a couple of breaths. Before releasing. Our standing crescent moon pose, we'll just do it with one arm, so keep the left arm where it is. Next, in breath, take right arm up. And on an out breath, reach across. So left arm, left hand travels down the outside edge of your left leg. Really pull back with that right shoulder, push out with your right hip. As you push into the mat with your right foot. Gaze is upwards. A couple of breaths here. And release. Let's take that on the other side. Breathing in, taking left arm up. And breathing out, side stretch, your standing crescent moon. Pushing out with this hip, this left hip. Left shoulders pull back. You're pushing into the mat with that left foot. And releasing. Okay, our next pose in the sequence, our goddess pose. So effectively a high squat. We're going to take the heels a little bit wider than the shoulders and turn the feet 10 to 2 like we did with our plie dog. Tilt the pelvis towards the navel, so you're tucking your tailbone under. Just keep your hands on the thighs for the time being. We're going to sink down. So you can either keep your heels in contact with the floor or stronger come onto the balls of your feet, so you're lifting your heels. And just gently, with your hands, encourage those knees a little bit wider. Make sure you're not doing this, not sticking the bottom out. Still keeping this tailbone tucked under. Knees out to the side. Let's take the arms into the pose now. So elbows in line with your shoulders, palms facing forward. Let's squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Can you sink a little bit lower? Quite a strong pose. We're pausing for 3 breaths. A bit lower for 2. Pull the elbows back a little bit more for 1. We're releasing straight into our next pose, star pose. It's lovely. We're going to straighten the legs and just simply reach the arms out to the side. Shoulder blades come down the back, the shoulders away from the ears. Reach out with the arms. So we're going to keep the arms here as we come into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Just adjust the left foot slightly so the toes are in, the heels out. And then with your right foot, turn the toes to face your short edge of the mat. Take your gaze towards your right hand. We're going to reach out as far as we can to the right side. Really reach it out. And then lower your right hand down on the inside of your right shin as you take your left hand up to your ceiling. So you're still keeping this strong straight line with your arms. Gaze is upwards. It's not about how low you get in this pose. It's about this lovely stretch, this lengthening from left hip to left armpit. 3 more breaths. Push into the feet, keep the arms as they are. We're coming up, we're adjusting the feet to our triangle pose opposite side. Right comes in. Left, turn the toes towards the short edge and take your gaze towards your left hand. Let's reach out as far as we can to the left side. Lower that left hand down as you take the right hand up. So this left hand's just gently pushing into the inside of your left shin. See if you can stretch out from hip to armpit a little bit more. 3 more breaths. Lovely. And keeping the arms as they are, coming on up. Let's take the hands to the hips. And just bring that left foot in. So we're going to come from here now into pyramid pose. So we're going to turn to the right. So right foot turns towards short edge. And we're going to turn the whole body to follow it. So traditionally this pose is done with the back foot out at a 45-degree angle. That doesn't really suit my hip and knee, so I often practice this with the toes tracking forwards. So perhaps have a little play with that, see what suits you best. You want to have your hips level and facing forwards. We're going to practice this today with the hands on the hips. Several ways to practice this pose. This is how we're doing it today. In breath, lengthening through the upper body. On an out breath, keep that length as you fold forward. So you're taking the gaze towards the top of your mat, trying to keep the back of your pelvis nice and flat, spines long. Really sucking your thigh muscles back towards your thigh bone, so legs strong. If you're prone to hyperextending, you may need to take a slight bend in that front leg. And work this pose with your breath. Every time you breathe in, lengthen through the spine. Every time you breathe out, see if you can release a little bit further into the pose. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Try and keep the neck engaged, so keeping the gaze forwards or towards your big toe, so your head's not going all floppy. Let's take one more breath. Engage the core. We're using our next in-breath to come up. Let's take our pyramid pose left side. So turn to face me. Let's turn to face left side. So left foot towards short edge, adjust your right. Feet hip distance. Leg muscles engaged, your core's engaged also. Let's take a breath in. On your next out breath, hinge forwards at the hips. Back of your pelvis flat is your spine long. Work the pose with your breath. Breathing in to lengthen. Breathing out to come a bit lower. Pushing your feet into the mat. One more breath here. And then use your next in-breath to come up and turn back to face towards me. So we're coming a little bit wider with the legs. If you need to, before we do that, just release. Yeah, it's getting a bit strong on the knees. So we're coming now into a high crescent lunge position. So take your legs really nice and wide. And then we're going to turn to face right edge. So right foot turns towards short edge of the mat. And then turn the whole body round. Sink the hips low. Back legs nice and straight. You're pushing that heel away. Front legs bent. Let's take the arms forwards. Shoulder blades release down the back. And then take the thumbs back. So you can take the gaze, if you want to, up towards the ceiling. A bit more of a challenge on the balance. And as fingertips reach high, hips sink low. Leg nice and straight for 3, for 2, for 1. Let's take the hands to the hips coming up. Come back to face towards me, a wide leg forward fold. Toes in, heels out. Let's take the first one with hands on hips. Breath in to lengthen, breath out to fold forwards. Crown of the head reaching down towards the mat, pushing the backs of the knees away. Neck is long. For 3, for 2, for 1. Engage the core, we're coming up. We're taking our high crescent lunge left side. Let's turn to the left. Be deep bend in left leg. Right leg straight. Let's reach forward with the hands to begin with. And then reach fingertips high. Remember, try not to let these shoulders come up by the ears. Draw them downwards. I'm saying for a couple more breaths. One more breath. Release the hands to the hips, we're coming up. Back to face me, toes in, heels out. One more wide leg forward fold. Breath in to lengthen. Breath out to fold forwards. Now you can keep your hands on your hips as we did before, or you can catch hold of your big toes with your middle and index finger. If you've got hold of your toes, pull on them and really pull, encourage the crown of the head down towards the mat. If you've got a bend in the arms, take those elbows out to the side, sending the sitting bones high. Couple more breaths here. And then release hold of your toes, take hold of your hips, and breathe in to come up. How are we all doing? How are these legs? Got a couple more to add to this. Coming into a low lunge this time, so we're going to turn back to the right, setting the legs as if we were coming into a high crescent lunge, but then taking the hands down to the mat. So you're lining your fingertips and the tips of your toes up. Wrists underneath your shoulders. Think about how your arms and your hands were when we were in our tabletop position. You want to do that again. Legs nice and straight. Enjoy the stretch. If you can sink the hips a little bit lower. We're taking crescent moon pose. I think we worked on this the very first week of our lockdown sessions. So you're relaxing your left knee down to the mat, resting on the top of the foot. Any knee issues, you may want to keep it here. If all's well with that left knee, we're going to come up onto the hip creases. See if we can sink the hips a little bit lower, and then reach up. Reaching up, reaching back, taking the gaze either upwards or to the wall behind you. For 3, for 2, for 1. Oh, nice. Release that back down. We're adding another pose here. It's a side lunge. So coming onto the ball of the back foot and lifting the knee, we're going to pivot. We're going to turn to the left. So turning the feet, and you're coming into this position. Now for this, I turn my toes up to face the ceiling. It suits my knee and hip better. So see how you feel. If you're feeling balanced, you can bring your hands together, heart centre. Make a little balance out of this lovely stretch for inner thigh muscles. Pause here for one more breath. Enjoy, smile. Let's release the hands. We're going to take this side lunge, opposite side. So just walking across as you straighten right and bend the left. Toes, right foot pointing up towards the ceiling. And you can bring your hands together, heart centre, if you've got your balance in this pose. Okay, let's release the hands. We're going to do our low lunge and crescent moon pose left side. So turning to the left of your mat. Let's set our low lunge, fingertips, toe tips in one line. Sink the hips. Couple more breaths here. Okay, let's release that back knee down as we rest on the top of the right foot. Knee issues, keep it low. Falls well with the knee, we're going to lift to hip creases. And then reach up. And reach back. Really enjoy this lovely stretch, this lovely opening in the front of the body. One more breath. Release the hands back down. Let's reset our low lunge position. So turn the toes of the back foot, lift the knee. And we're going to walk the hands round again to come into one final wide leg forward fold. So adjusting the feet, your toes are in, your heels are out. You can choose how you want to practice this. So hands on your hips. You may want to take hold of your elbows in kind of like a dangling version. Holding onto your feet, or maybe even resting your hands or your forearms on the mat. See what's feeling good for you. Close the eyes. Draw the focus back within, back to your breath. These forward folds are lovely and calming, soothing. come out of this pose now. Just come onto your hands. We're going to shuffle the feet in, or walk the feet in, so that your heels are just a little bit wider than your hips. Feet 10 to 2, and we're going to take a squat. Either keep the hands down, or if you're balanced, which I wasn't then, if you're balanced, hands heart centre. Just rest your elbows on your knees. Taking a couple more breaths. Okay, and reach the hands forwards, lower the heels, and come down onto your bottom. You might need to shuffle around so that your portrait on your mats now. A closing pose. So if you reach your hands forward and slowly roll all the way down to semi-supine. We'll finish, I think, with a twist today. So take the arms out to the side. You can either have them shoulder height with palms up, or take your cactus arms. You know, you've got 90-degree angle on the arms. Breath in here. And then as you breathe out, knees to the left, gaze to the right. So now we're slowing down of the breath. Next in breath, draw that into the centre. Take our twist opposite sides, so as you breathe out, your knees to the right, your gaze to the left. And bring that into the centre. Let's take a full body stretch. And hug, knees in towards the chest. Lovely. And then we're going to cross the ankles and rock up to seated.
Well done, everyone. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that. Remember, you can message me with any requests you may have. So my next session is Saturday morning, 11:30 on Zoom. That'll be a yin and a bolster class, so really nice and slow and relaxing. I've been putting all these Facebook videos onto YouTube, so you can do them at a later date if you want to. Okay, and before I go, I just want to wish my partner in crime, Stephen Woodruff, a very happy 50th birthday. Enjoy your day, Steve. Thanks everyone, bye bye. See you all soon, have a lovely day. Bye.